Oh, hello again. Welcome to part 7 of my hints and tips for using the Orla Ringway RS600. And today we're going to be looking at a slightly better way of saving your own registrations onto presets so that you can tweak them and just alter one a little bit and save it onto the same bank of sounds. Now, because what we're doing today is slightly more complicated than we did in part 6, two things are vital. One is to have a pen and paper on hand so that you can write down what you've done, and I'll show you what to write as we do it. And the other thing I think is to, once we've loaded the sound, let's load the sound, is to get another stick. I've got a different colour one, like I've got a white one that I'm going to use as a backup. So we can back the sounds up, so when we push the wrong button, which we probably will do, and we lose the work, it's not the organ's fault, it's our fault. But if we've got a backup with the same sounds on, then at least they're protected. So come over the screen and I'll show you exactly what I'm doing. First of all, I'm going to put the original sounds back in on our little stick that we're working on. And what was it called? New Peter. There we go, New Peter. Play, update, yes please, we'll update it. And now we've got our 12 sounds that we loaded in part 6. Come over the screen and I'll show you what's happening. Okay, so now we've got the stick, the one that we were working on, all loaded in with the white lettering facing upwards, so we put it in the right way. And what does it say on the screen? I hope it's, yes it does, it says New Peter, because that's the one that we were working on and that we want to add a few sounds to. And what do we push? We want to upload it, so we push the word play. And then the screen alters to, do you want to update? In other words, do you want to load the sounds? And we go to confirm and say yes we do, we want to load those sounds, there we are. And now it says, push confirm, and it says updated, so that's good. So now we've got our original sounds that we've been working on, 1 to 12, you remember? Let's just try one out. That's perfect. Right, now two things that we want to do. The first thing, before we start working on these new sounds and tweaking the sounds and adding sounds, we want to make a backup. And so I'm going to make a backup stick. I'm going to take that one out and I'm going to put in, guess what, a different coloured stick. And we can save the sounds onto there. So if we make a mistake, and it will be our mistake, it's not the organ, it'll be we will have pushed the wrong button. So if we do push the wrong button, let's save this onto the stick. So I put this stick in, and now the screen is altered to all the files that's on there, so in alphabetical order. Don't worry about those. All we do to save what we have in at the moment, which is the New Peter, we just push the memory record button. And now if I push memory record, we've got the white stick in, look, it's already waiting to save, to make a backup. We push memory record and see what the screen says. The screen will alter, memory record, and it now alters weight. It alters to registration 000, which we now know is the New Peter. It's been saved as a backup file, which is important. So write that down on a piece of paper. Let's do that now. And there it is. White stick equals registration 000 is New Peter backup file. So we've saved it. So now we can take the white stick out and put the stick in that we're working on, which is the black one. Let's put that back in. And of course it comes up with New Peter, which I'm going to reload again. Just to be on the safe side, I'm going to push play again, play, update, yes please, I'd like to do that, confirm, and it says updated. So now we've loaded sounds 1 to 12 and we're ready to get on with adding some new sounds. Now we have all those nice sounds that we made in part 6 in 1 to 12. So 1 to 12 are taken up. So we write that fact down before we start adding to them, because 13, 14, 15 and 16 we know are empty. So write that down. So there we are from the work that we did yesterday. Registration 002 with 1 to 12 inclusive has now been renamed as New Peter. Organs are in 1 to 12 and 13, 14, 15 and 16 are spare. They're available to load some new sounds in, and I think we'll have 4 wonderful little pianos. I'm going to put some pianos in, just a little treat at the end of we've got the Blackpool sounds, and then we've got 13, 14, 15 and 16, which I'm going to start playing with, because at the moment number 13 is totally empty. So that's the one that we're going to be working on, 13, 14, 15 and 16, to put some pianos in. So now about half an hour or so has gone by, and I've created a nice piano, which I'm going to call it, I think I'll call it an angelic piano. Nice backing. That's nice. Perfect. So now let's save that onto preset number 13. What do? We hold memory, M, and then push 13. Ta-da! There we go. Now that's captured into 13, and so it's no longer spare. So we take our piece of paper so that we're not going to get mixed up, and we cross out the word spare, and then underneath, let's lean on my knee, underneath we write piano, and it's the heavenly one. There we go. So now we've written the word piano on there, and now we know that 13 is no longer free. So we now start working on 14, but before we do, we need to save this number 13 as part of the row. So we've got row 1 to 13. To save that, I'll show you exactly what we do. It's ever so easy, but take your time. Come over the screen and I'll show you what's going to happen. So since we loaded the stick, we loaded New Peter, and we haven't touched the stick or any part of it. All we've done is pushed number 13 to add a piano, the heavenly piano. So now, to save number 13 as part of 1 to 12 and plus 13, which is the whole row that we called New Peter, to save onto the same stick, onto the same row, we push 2 buttons. Let's come down so you can see exactly what I'm pushing. I'm pushing shift on the left hand side where it says USB stick. First I push shift first, and then I push memory record. And now the screen is still saying New Peter. It's gone back to New Peter. In other words, it's loaded number 13 as an addition to our 1 to 12, and now it's all in the same New Peter row. And the thing is now to check it to make sure we've done it properly. In fact, just to be 100% sure that this has worked, that we've added 13, let's load in New Peter again. I'll push play, update. Yes, we can, so we push confirm. There we go. So now we've loaded New Peter again, and now the proof of the pudding is in the playing. Let's see if we go from 1 to 13, and 13's in there. So let's make sure we've added the new sound. We'll push there, 1, 2, let's go on to the next lot, 5, 6, 7, that's it. Now go on to the next lot, 9, 10, all the way up to 12. Now let's see, when we come to 13, let's push it and hope that we have our heavenly piano in there, and there it is. So we've done it. So now all we've got to do is start working on sounds for number 14. So having double checked that number 14 is still spare, there's nothing in it, we start work on another piano. I think we'll have an octave piano this time to put into number 14. That's nice. So we've got a piano on the top. I'll put a little trumpet down there. And we're ready to save our sound. So what do? We push M and 14. Because 14s are empty at the moment, but now M, 14, flash, 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 and now we've saved our octave piano into 14. And now now we want to save that onto the same row to add it to our 1 to 12 to 13, and now we're going to add 14. And how do we do it? Let me remind you. Our screen says piano, grand piano, because that's what we've been working on to create the octave piano. And so what do? We go down to the USB stick section and we push the word shift first and then the word memory record. Shift, and now memory record. And the screen alters from grand piano. Let's show you what happens. As we push the two buttons shift memory record, the screen now goes back to new Peter, which confirms that we've now loaded an extra button to our row. We've added to that row, so now we've got 1 to 14. So now we cross out the word spare on 14 because 14 is no longer spare. 14 contains an octave oct piano. There. So 14 is taken up, and now we're starting working on 15 and 16, and then we've finished our set of sounds. I remember as a child running errands for my mother and going down to the shop, repeated the message over and over again. I don't know, a pint of milk and a dozen eggs, a pint of milk and a dozen eggs, a pint of milk and a dozen eggs, all the way to the shop until I managed to blurt it out, a pint of milk and a dozen eggs and a few sweets. Now that's exactly the same method that the organ's going to use as we transfer sounds from one bank of presets to our new Peter bank of presets, because I've got two sounds which I made. You remember those pianos that I did in part 3? I've got two of those pianos, but I saved them onto a different stick. So now I've got to transfer them from one stick to another. First of all, let's make sure that new Peter has got two spare presets. There we go, we've got piano there, and I reckon that 15 and 16 should be free. There's nothing in them. No sound at all, let alone the wrong sound. There we go. So now what we've done, I've written down what our mission is, or what the organ's mission is. We're going to swap. There's two lovely pianos that I've got on, I called it Only Two Pianos, I think it was called, and I've got to swap. I'll show you what we're going to do. Let's come into the camera and I can explain. Right, we have to swap only two pianos, right? So the piano that we want to swap is in Only Two Pianos. Preset 1 has got to go on to 15 of the new Peter, and preset 2 has got to go on to preset 16, which is spare. Look, it says spare. And now we're not going to get another chance to try those, so we've got to be absolutely 100% sure that 15 and 16 on new Peter are the ones that we want to transfer onto. Yep, empty, empty. So come over the screen and I'll show you how we transfer from one to another. So I've even kept them separate with the word from, because that's the stick that we're going to be transferring from, and that's our stick with the new Peter sounds on. We've got two more to add to that stick, and we're going to take them from the piano stick. So let's put that one on here and we'll put it in to the slot and scroll through and load up the one that says Only Pianos. So now you can see from the screen that I've loaded my bank of just two sounds. It's called Only Two Pianos. It just says Only Two. In one we've got a nice honky tonk piano. Out of tune trombone on the bottom, and on number 2 we have, do you remember that jingle jangle piano that I did on number 3, part 3? Here's my jingle jangle piano. And they're the two, and we have to load them one at a time from one bank onto our new Peter bank. So come over the screen and I'll show you exactly how we load from one bank to the new bank. So now, from our from stick, we've loaded 1 and 2, which is the honky tonk piano and the jingle jangle piano. And the jingle jangle. We can only do them one at a time, so we're going to use number 1. Number 1 is the honky tonk piano. And now we send the organ, or send the keyboard shall we say, on an errand to deliver that sound to new Peter number 15, new Peter number 15. So now we can take out the original stick. Let's take it out, and we'll put in the 2 stick, which is the one with new Peter on it. So we put the new Peter stick back in and we load it. And to load it, what do? We just push play. It says update. Yep, we want to update new Peter, updated. There we go. Now don't touch anything. Now you've done this, we don't touch anything, because we're going to deliver. Let's move the camera a little bit and show you what's happening. We're going to deliver that sound. It's still there. The keyboard has remembered the honky tonk piano. It's honky tonk piano to number 15. Honky tonk piano, don't touch any buttons, otherwise the organ will forget. It's on the keyboard, honky tonk piano, that we need to deliver to number 15. So we push M and we push 15. Push M first, a split second before, and then when it flashes, it's in. Ready? Push M and 15, flash, 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 and now it's loaded. So now we've got the Peter Hayward sounds, and we've got our honky tonk piano has gone now to number 15. And then to save that, what do we do? To save the row, we push Shift and record, memory record. Let's just zoom in on that and show you what I'm doing. Oh, yeah, that's it, there we go. To save that row, we push Shift, memory record, the 2 red ones there, and the screen now reads again new Peter to confirm that the new sound is in. So now we can take the new Peter stick out and put it where it says 2, and we'll take the from, which is the piano one, load that in again, put it into the socket there, and scroll through. That's the go. Scroll through until we see the thing that says only 2 pianos, and to scroll through we go, I'm going backwards, it's nearer, there we go. See it changing until it reads only 2. That's the one, only 2 pianos. We then want to load that up again, so we push play. It says, do you want to update? Yes, because we want to put that 1 piano back that I've got that I need to transfer. Update, yes please. So now, in preset number 2, we have our other piano, the baby jingle piano. That's got to go, the organ will remember that, and it will send it now. When we change the stick back over, we can send it to new Peter number 16. So baby jangle, jangle piano to number 16. Jangle piano to number 16. So now we take our piano stick out. That was the from stick. And the 2 stick is the one with new Peter on. Let's load that one up again, because the organ's remembering jingle jangle piano. And we can load it up. Let's push play. It says, do you want to update? Yes we do. We want to put new Peter back in again, so push confirm, and it's updated. So now we've got new Peter in. Now once again, don't touch anything. So now don't touch any other buttons at all, don't touch anything. You've got to trust yourself now, or rather trust what you've written, because Hayward, Peter, new Peter, has been loaded up, but the sound of the jingle jangle piano, the organ's still running to deliver it. It's saying jingle jangle piano. It's on the keyboard, but it's not in one of the buttons yet, because we've got to load it. Which one's spare? Number 16. So we've loaded it from number 2. Number 2 is now remembered inside the organ. So don't touch any of these buttons yet. The only time we touch a button, we believe it now. Number 16 is empty, and so believe it, trust in yourself, and push M16, which will load. The jingle jangle sound is now hovering on the keyboard. And we can load it now by pushing the memory, M, and always push that first. Make sure you push that a split second before you push the number. M, 16, flash, 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 and now hopefully we've completed our row. We've added the jingle jangle piano to number 16. The honky tonk piano is in 15. Just check jingle jangle piano. So now we've completed the whole row of sounds. We want to load it back into new Peter. So we push Shift, don't forget push Shift and memory record. Shift first, memory record, and the screen will alter to read New Peter. And so now we have all our 16 sounds safely loaded into New Peter, and we can take the stick out, and next time we load it we have 16 complete sounds. 16 complete sounds, including our honky tonk piano, safely in Hayward 15, New Peter 15, and the jingle jangle piano is now safely trapped in number 16. Thank you for listening. Enjoy your RS600s. I'll see you soon.